But, guys, Greg Rosenthal of NFL.com wrote an article titled, "The Top 101 NFL Free Agents of 2026. Who are the best players available?" And this is his list, numbers 1 through 6. Are you ready?
Sure.
Let's see it, Steve. Number 1, Malik Willis. Greg Rosenthal ranked Malik Willis as the number 1 overall free agent in the upcoming class. He had George Pickens at number 2, Jalen Phillips at 3, Tyler Lindenbaum at number 4, Alec Pierce at number 5, and Trey Hendrickson at number 6. The write-up for Malik Willis, Steve, if you could take a next graphic, please. I don't see you taking pictures back here for Director Steve, but we do need this here. The write-up for Malik Willis was, quote, "I see him as the most dynamic quarterback in football as a runner, and his tape in Green Bay showed incredible growth as a passer over his 2 years with Matt LaFleur. Despite his limited sample size, Willis jumped to the top spot of this ranking based on the same logic that applies to the NFL draft. If a potential franchise quarterback is good enough to be ranked in the top 5 of a list like this, then he should be placed first by virtue of the position. The ceiling is the roof." Guys, has the Malik Willis hype gone too far? This is absurd, having him ranked number 1 based off 2 starts in the NFL this season.
Who cares where he's ranked? I mean, that ranking free agents is irrelevant. He's what everybody considers the best available quarterback. Quarterback's the most important position. And so he's number 1. I mean, whether he's number 1 or number 10, who cares? Yes, he's getting a ton of hype. He's probably going to get paid a lot of money. He's completely unproven. And so it's a major risk. Mm-hmm. But because the position is so important, somebody is going to take that risk that he has developed under. He always had a lot of potential. He was drafted in the 3rd round because he came from a small school and he was a raw prospect. If he's figured it out, he does have elite athletic ability. We've always known that about him. If he's figured it out, if the teams that need quarterbacks like the Browns and the Cardinals and the Steelers and the Dolphins believe that he's figured it out in Green Bay, he's worked hard, he's improved his game, and he's ready to be a starter, with his athletic ability, he could turn out to be a really good quarterback. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I've barely seen the guy play. But if you're a team and you believe he's going to be the next, top 15 quarterback, well then, it makes a lot of sense if you're a team with nothing at the position and no option to get one other way that you would be very interested, even though it's risky.
This may potentially sound asinine, and I might get grilled for saying this.
Oh, it's okay. I love it.
And I don't care.
Attaboy. That's it. Now you're officially a media member.
No, to me, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, what is the biggest difference between him and Shedeur Sanders? I always come back to these two and compare. They literally had the exact same hype coming out to where you thought they would be a first-round pick. They both slipped in the draft. When he was with Vrabel with the Titans, Vrabel's biggest pet peeve with him is he didn't read the defense. He would just take off running too soon. Well, if that's the case, even that write-up just said he's the most mobile guy in the free agency and things like that, and he's figured out passing. Okay, if I'm the Browns, you might as well just do the same, run this, try to hope that Todd Monken can teach Shedeur Sanders the same thing, because at least you've seen Shedeur Sanders has been more athletic than people gave him credit for.
But is he athletic as Malik Willis?
I don't know. What did Malik Willis run in the 40?
He's definitely not Malik. Malik Willis is a...
Yeah, I don't even really...
What'd they run in the 40, Mike?
Did Shedeur run a 40?
Probably not.
I don't think he did. But to me, it's just if you potentially have Malik Willis on your roster already.
Obviously, if the
Malik
Browns sign him... Go ahead.
Did not run the combine. However, during his sophomore season at Auburn, because he transferred from Auburn to Liberty, he ran if you believe the report, a 4.37 40.
You don't believe that?
You think he ran a 4.37?
I have no idea, Tyvis. You would have a better feel for that than me.
I don't think he ran a 4.37.
What do you think he really ran?
He looked like a 4.5 guy.
And what's Shedeur?
You think he's 4.5?
Probably 4.5, 4.6, right?
And what's Shedeur?
4.8.
Okay. Yeah, if the Browns sign Malik Willis, they obviously believe he's a lot better than Shedeur Sanders. Otherwise, why would you do it?
No, I mean, I understand that. My point is...
You don't see him being
My
any
point
better.
is both of them was raw talent, right? And this guy is a guy who's played a handful of games since we seen him at Tennessee. But the only reason people think he's much better than what he is because he was in a system with Matt LaFleur, who everybody respects as a play caller.
Right.
So he put him in situations to be able to flourish and showcase his talents. That was just a raw talent getting rid of
How many games did he even play at Green Bay?
But he also had 4 years of being in the NFL.
Right.
And learning NFL football. 4 years of watching film and 4 years of...
I'm not saying, I don't know that he's any better. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him play.
I think my whole point about the whole thing is both of them was raw talent. And because one got with a coach that actually took the time out to teach him the game, helped him out. If Todd Monken is who you say he is, he should be able to do the same thing, and it would be cheaper.
So you don't think Mike Vrabel was teaching Malik Willis?
I mean, that's a defensive-minded guy.
But you don't think there's anybody at Tennessee who was teaching Malik
Who was his OC? Arthur Smith?
You don't think there was
anybody? Go Bucks, by the way.
You don't think
they
there
were
was
trying
anybody
to.
at Tennessee who was trying to teach him? They were just like, well, this guy sucks.
No, I think they absolutely was trying.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
But
would
you agree?
And by the way, I don't think they're going to sign him.
Would you agree that certain people can communicate better with certain quarterbacks?
Absolutely. But you could say
so
that about...
who's to say that Todd Monken ain't that for Shedeur?
But you can say that about any quarterback taken in the 4th or 5th round. Why wouldn't you? Because the other guy's better. That's why you would do it, because you feel like the other guy's better. Any quarterback taken in the 5th round, you can make the argument, well, just develop him. You took him in the 5th round. Well, no, we like this guy better. That's why you sign him, because you think he's a better quarterback. And you're letting someone else do the work of developing him the last 4 years, and now you believe in the product.
Okay, so
the Browns have never developed a quarterback.
That's true.
And now you think that's the part that blows my mind.
Has Todd Monken developed quarterbacks?
I mean, what is he? Has he been part of developing quarterbacks? Probably in college, for sure.
He certainly contributed.
Did he develop Lamar?
No.
He called the play and said, Lamar, go do what you can do.
Hey, you got to give him some credit.
Did Lamar not have his best seasons under him?
He did.
Yes, but
it was mostly Lamar. I'm giving Lamar most credit.
Did not make Lamar Jackson.
I'm not saying he made Lamar, but he figured out what Lamar was best at and utilized it.
Right, but Lamar Jackson.
I mean, that's ultimately what coaching is
yes,
especially as a play
Lamar
caller,
Jackson,
putting my quarterback in the best situation to succeed.
While it's fair to say he contributed to Lamar Jackson's improvement, Lamar Jackson had still won an MVP before he got there.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that's not the point.
Right.
No,
I get what you're saying, but your perspective is Malik Willis, Shedeur Sanders is not a significant difference, so go with the cheaper guy.
Pretty much.
I guess I kind of feel the same way.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
But if Todd Monken and Andrew Berry believe that Malik Willis is a superior prospect,
if they believe that, then they're going to do it.
Then they should do it. If they believe that.
Are you going all in?
If you could, and I don't know what the market's really going to be.
See, that's my thing with him. I continue to say it's only one team that actually knows Malik Willis, and that will be the Dolphins because of Halfley and the GM.
Right.
They're the only ones. So if they come out and say $50 million, I find it hard for like the Cardinals or the Browns to say we got 55. I don't think if you get into a bidding war, I don't think why would you go there?
For me, it comes down to what's the pain to get out of it if it doesn't work, because obviously it's a huge risk. So, so whatever the number is for this year is what the number is. But for me, it's more of your cap is already in shambles because you've done this once before.
Right.
That's why I'm like, can you afford to do it again?
Well, they can afford it, but if they blow it again, it's beyond the disaster.
Zach just
like
gave
to
you
me,
the number.
Malik Willis is last year's version of Joe Milton. Everybody was like, Joe Milton is this guy.
Well, I don't know.
Dallas traded for him. Willis than they were Joe Milton.
I think there's a big difference between fans on social media think somebody's a guy and what people in the NFL
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Milton played one game.
March 11, we'll find out.
If the Browns can structure a contract with Malik Willis, obviously they're not going to give him a fully guaranteed deal. If you can give him a contract where he gets a lot of money up front and the pain on the backside isn't as bad to get out of it, or they can spread out, then maybe you take a look at it. But their cap is already destroyed from Deshaun. If they do something with another quarterback on top of that, that's a total risk. That's the part where I would pull back and say, I don't think this is a good idea.
It just seems like, to me, and again, I don't know enough about Malik Willis, but it seems to me that I'm kind of with you, Tyvis. I think Shedeur Sanders, I don't know that he has any less of a chance to be a good quarterback than Malik Willis. And so why spend $30, $40 million on another question mark when I'm spending no money on the question mark I already have here? And if he doesn't work out. Now, but again, if the Browns think Malik Willis is clearly a better prospect than Shedeur Sanders, they should do it, but they better be right.
To me,
You don't see it as
not right now. It's hard for you. It's hard for anybody to.
Right, of course, I agree.
I don't care if you burnt the tape up and watch every clip. It's not a lot of game film.
Right.
You're watching a lot of preseason film, and we know what we feel about the preseason.
Yeah.
How many games has he played for Green Bay?
I think played not many. How many players did he play for the Packers? 2? 1?
Malik Willis?
Yeah.
He played in 4 games this year.
Oh, he did?
He started 1, but he played in 4 games this year.
Oh, how many passes did he throw?
This season?
Yeah.
35.
I mean, that's basically 1 game.
Yeah.
How many passes did he throw in the regular season last year for Green Bay?
54.
So he threw 89 passes for Green Bay.
No, I'm saying it's so hard.
Yeah.
To look.
He's 70 of 89 passing in Green Bay for a 79% completion percentage.
That's great, but it's 2 games
it's a
basically.
No,
small
I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's great, but it's.
I mean, he could very well be, but if I'm the Browns, I just don't know if I'm in position to really just do that. Like, it's because if you miss, like, forget 29, it's gonna be 32.
Yeah, I mean, if he stinks and you have his money, I think if you had a contract where you could get out of most of the guaranteed money after the first year, then it's not as big a risk, obviously, because who cares how much you pay him this year?
Right.
But
I also understand the fact that they view Shedeur as a project quarterback.
Yeah.
And
Malik Willis is already 4 years into his.
Correct. So I understand it from that standpoint. Again, it goes back to Jason's point. What is the plan? What is the plan for this season?
And I don't see it.
If they sign Malik Willis, the plan is they going all in. They think they can make the playoffs.
I actually don't see it that way.
I do.
To me, if you sign Malik Willis, you're thinking him as the long-term answer.
You sign Malik Willis, you got 2 picks in the first round, 4 picks in the top 100. Yeah, you think you could do something.
I think you guys are both saying the same thing in different languages.
Oh.
You're saying you found your quarterback.
Yeah.
And if you found your quarterback and you hit on your picks with this defense,
you could win.
You could be a playoff team.
Right, exactly.
So I think you guys are kind of saying the same thing.
I mean, if you believe Malik Willis is going to this year be a good NFL quarterback, and you hit it right in the draft with the tackles, and you acquire you acquire 1 good wide receiver, you could be a playoff team next year. Absolutely.
To answer your original question, do you want to take 4 years to renovate a house, or you just want to buy a house where all the work's already done?
You want to buy the house with the work already done.
That's Malik Willis. And I don't know if the work's done or not. It could have been a flip where they used junk material.
Could be junk. Yeah, right.
You know? But that's
might
really
look good on the outside, but
that's really
it's just so hard.
It's all a crapshoot,
man. I wish he would have played more.
And you can't. Malik Willis and Shedeur are completely different people. What's the work ethic of these guys? If one works 100 times harder than the other one, which one?
And that stuff we don't know.
Well, Shedeur broadcasts his all the time.
What do you mean broadcast?
He always got some workout video he does.
I mean, that's not.
That's what I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I'm just saying he does that. Didn't he throw after practice or go to Baldwin Wallace to throw?
I mean, is that really getting you better as a player?
I don't know.
That type of stuff.
He doing reps. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know. What do you mean you don't know? You know more than we do.
I used to stay after practice and do extra stuff.
Okay.
Help me out. So
yeah.
I found a stat on Willis.
Yeah.
Tiny sample size again. In his 2 years with the Packers, on what PFF considers deep passes, air yards of 12 or longer.
Zach gave the stat yesterday.
13 for 15
13 for 15 with 456 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Again, fantastic, but such a small sample size.
Tiny.
It's such a crapshoot. Because he could be. He could be.
But the job of NFL talent evaluators is to evaluate
Andrew Berry, this is your job.
Okay.
You have to make that
So
bet.
do you trust him?
No, not at all.
How could you trust him?
Not at all.
So if you was the Browns and your scout said, Jason, this is a can't miss guy.
He's probably going to miss.
So you would go opposite?
No, but Jimmy
It doesn't matter if we trust him.
Jimmy has chosen Andrew and this front office to lead them, so he has to trust the evaluation that they give him. And if they say this is the guy, you got to believe in that. And
Let
you
me
gotta
ask you,
go.
How tall is Malik Willis again?
6'1".
He's listed at 6'1", 225.
Okay, so he's not like he's.
I think Shedeur is 6'1", right?
Yeah, it's not like he's Kyler Murray height.
No.
Yeah.
So which one are you more comfortable with? Would you rather roll the dice on Malik Willis or try to go next year in the draft?
By the way, real quick, official combine sizes, just for comparison.
Yeah.
Shedeur was at the combine 6'2", 212. Malik Willis was 6'1", 224. So
Shedeur didn't measure 6'2". That's not his combine height. His combine height was like 6'1 3/4 or something like that, or 6'1 1/2. Or
well, whatever it
round
was
up.
on Pro Football
Maybe they
Reference,
rounded up.
I guess they round up.
Because I went
but-
back and looked.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between 6'1 and 6'2", does that really matter?
No,
No.
it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
Malik Willis is a little thicker, obviously, because he was a little heavier.
All right, continue what you were saying, Bud. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I
just-
forget
You
what
guys
you're
are out
saying.
of control, very immature over here.
So would you rather roll it if you was making the decision?
Yeah.
Would you roll the dice on Malik Willis this year, have him and just have to ride it out, or would you roll
Ba-
with Shedeur and then if it
ba-
don't work,
yeah.
get the quarterback next?
Based on the information I have, which is not enough, I would stick with Shedeur, see how it goes, and if it goes well, I'd stick with him. If it goes poorly, I'd get a quarterback in the draft next year. Because if it goes poorly, it could go really poorly, and they could be certainly good chance to be a top 5 pick.
According
everybody's
to-
getting fired.
If Jason is right, then it will be a top 3 pick.
Right.
If I'm right about what?
Shedeur.
I mean, there's no guarantee he wins the starting job.
So how would you do? Would you sign Malik?
You don't want to know what I would do.
Yeah, I do.
What would you do? What do you mean we don't want to know?
If I was in charge of the Browns,
Fixing the Browns. And no, you can't get rid of Jimmy Haslett.
honestly, I
We
would
will
move
not
on.
clip this.
I would move on from all 3 quarterbacks.
Cut all 3.
I'd move on from
This
all 3.
year.
Yeah, right now.
So you would sign
I'd move
Malik.
on from all 3.
You sign Malik.
No, I would wait for the 27 draft.
So
I
who-
would sign Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
I would draft a middle guy, Nussbaum or Drew Eller or whatever.
Yeah.
Only one though. I'm not taking 2.
Bailey Zappi
Only
is your
one.
third quarterback.
Nussbaum.
Nussmeyer. Sorry, Gary Nussmeyer.
Nussbaum. I like Nussbaum better.
did Nussbaum?
Maybe he'd be better if he was Nussbaum.
Honestly, that's what I would do. I would get
Yeah, move on,
like
move on.
the plan they had last year until they blew up their own plan. They had 2 veterans and they drafted. Now
Yeah.
you can say they picked the wrong rookie quarterback draft. It was a bad quarterback draft. Okay, fine. But I would
three
take.
of them look pretty good.
I would take a veteran. I think Cousins would probably be minimal. I'd take a veteran, draft a middle round quarterback, and I would start completely over in that room. I think it is a disaster what they have to pick from a quarterback. It's a disaster. I told you want to know what I would do.
McNugget?
I
wanna know
wanted
what
to know. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
McNuggets has a lot of analytics and a lot of stats, so I would love his
What would you do?
Depending on the price tag on Willis, yeah, I'm
What
with
is
you
it?
guys.
2 seconds ago, you just said he was overhyped, and now you
No,
know
I asked if it's getting.
No, isn't he projected?
I think it is ridiculous to rank him the number 1 free agent. He's thrown 6 career touchdown passes. He has 10 career touchdowns. Like George Pickens is coming off an All-Pro season. Let's not pretend.
George Pickens is not. George Pickens is a better player, but who cares who's ranked 1 or 2 in free
Well, I'm
agency?
just saying, if you're going to rank a guy that's the number 1
It's
overall
stupid,
free
but he's
agent,
basing it on position.
Is it
George
Malik-
Pickens ain't becoming a free agent
Malik
anyway.
is projected 40 to 50, right?
I doubt that.
the numbers
I
Jordan
don't
Schultz
think. I think
in
that's
the 30
nonsense.
range.
Nobody's paying him that much.
Of the quarterbacks on the roster, I'm with you guys. I'd rather just see I think there's no point in Deshaun Watson playing. I'd rather just see Shedeur. If you have something, great. If you don't, you find your quarterback in 27. But if Todd Monken and the Browns think Malik Willis is an upgrade, then go try and get an upgrade at quarterback.
If they go get Malik Willis, I would get rid of every quarterback on the roster. Then I would do it.
Well, what's the difference? Why did Malik Willis be the difference in getting rid of every quarterback on the roster?
Because
Not?
you're deciding he's the one you like. Because I know you're completely out on Shedeur, and I get it. I understand. He was terrible last year. I hold the possibility that he could still be a decent quarterback. I'm not saying I think it's likely. I'm saying it's possible.
Well, I would
And
say
so-
that too. I think it's possible.
Right.
I just don't think it's likely.
And so, if right now, I would rather see if that could happen rather than just get rid of everybody and play a meaningless season with Kirk Cousins.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah. And again,
And I just use Cousins as a placeholder.
I hear you. Or
Marcus
whatever.
Mariota.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Go get a veteran. Draft and same the plan they had last year. I thought was actually a sound plan. And then they blew up their own.
Yeah,
plan.
I don't think your idea is crazy. I just would do it. I would do it differently. But
Yeah.
if I think if you do,
You don't want to keep Dylan?
Well,
Kevin's going to get him. So.
the only way I would leave.
I do not think Dylan Gabriel is going to wind up at Atlanta.
The only way I would end.
Maybe he does.
If
The
he
only way I
does,
keep Dylan is if I brought in a guy who I would like. If you sign Malik Willis or you drafted Ty Simpson in the first round, I would get rid. I know they're not going to get rid of Watson, but I would get rid of Watson and Shedeur, and I'd keep Dylan as a
Why
backup.
would you get rid of Shedeur? Is it the distraction?
Yes.
That's the only reason.
Yes.
But
the
you
only reason.
believe that he has higher upside than
It's
Dylan
not
Gabriel.
the only reason for me.
I do, but it's a backup spot. So
What's your reason? Because you would admit that you think he's better than Dylan.
Shedeur?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think talent-wise he's better.
So
than
why
Dylan.
would you rather keep Dylan than Shedeur if you was getting
I didn't
another?
say I was going to keep Dylan.
No, I'm just saying.
I just said I cleaned out the
Yeah, I
entire
know
room.
you did, but I'm talking about his
because
scenario.
I'm fine keeping him as a second or really third quarterback. I think it depends. I think if I had Malik Willis,
But this what I don't understand
Yeah.
about it is they have said that they viewed him as a developmental quarterback. You take a fifth round quarterback. I take a quarterback in the fifth round because you look at him as a developmental guy.
Right.
He got forced into action, but you still believe that there is something there. So why move on from him?
because if you sign Malik Willis or draft Ty Simpson in the first round, and that's the only scenarios that I would move on for Shedeur Sanders, you're committing to them as the quarterback of the future, in my opinion.
That's fine.
So what's the point of keeping Shedeur Sanders around when
What's the point of keeping Dylan Gabriel around?
Because Dylan Gabriel's not going to be a distraction for the coach.
So is
You don't have to keep
why?
Dylan.
Wait a minute. Is Shedeur Sanders the distraction?
No,
or is
but the
Shedeur-
questions
is
will
his
be.
fan base.
Yes, the fan base.
Who cares?
Well, the coach may care.
It become-
Tyvis, you
it
know coaches care
absolutely
about stuff
becomes-
like
Tom
that.
Munkin seems like he don't care about talking.
Well, it's
You know what
easy
you
to say-
do?
it's
You
easy
know what
to
you
say that in
do?
February.
You know what you do?
Yeah.
No, I'm not answering any questions about Shedeur Sanders.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. It's not
That worked out real well for Kevin.
Next question.
Just saying.
Next
That's
question.
true. That's true.
Just say that. Next question.
Yeah.
And then everybody will catch on.
It's all moot point because
I don't think that's going to happen. I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to draft Ty Simpson. I don't think they're going to sign Malik Willis ultimately. And if that's the case, then I would stick with Shedeur and see what he's got.
Zach usually be.
Yeah, I mean, he might be right.
I'm
But
a
listen,
laugh. I'm a laugh.
If you sign Malik Willis, that tells you all you need to know about what they think of Shedeur Sanders.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
they kind of told you that when they answered we don't know if the quarterback is internally or externally.
It doesn't matter what
that
they
comment
say.
to me.
It doesn't matter what they
Right,
say.
it matters what they do.
It's what they do.
Yeah.
Yes, ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep.
We will see.
It's going to be fascinating.
If they
Yeah.
come up on my phone that the Browns signed Malik Willis for $45 million,
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, all right, here we go.